Good afternoon, students. Today we will start the fourth module, training, tuning, and serving on AI platform. So this module basically about CI/CD pipeline, which means continuous integration and continuous delivery, as well as APIs and microservices. Also, various kind of different application programming interfaces, REST API, how the microservices are developed and transferred in Docker and testing API. This all topics are connected together in the fourth module. So the first half of the module shows about the CI/CD pipeline, how the developed code or builded code is transformed to deployment, as well as the delivery. That is explained at the CI/CD pipeline. So the first topic is continuous integration, delivery, and deployment in MLOps. So we know about machine learning operation. When a code is developed, only it's in the concept of machine learning. When it acts as a machine learning operation, we need some steps, which means after developing a code, it has to be deployed to some environment. In that particular environment, the code as well as data set should be continuously trained, monitored, and if any error happens it would be rectified clearly, and it will generate a triggers either in a day or in a month based upon that, as well as real time scenario. The model has to be trained and improved continuously. That is the important thing of machine learning operation. Okay, so the this continuous delivery and deployment takes a major role here. So you all know the three basic steps of MLOps is build, build, then test, as well as deploy. Okay, so these three steps are interconnected. Okay, building a code. After that, we are testing, then deploying a code. Okay, so the building of a code can be done either in your own PC or laptop. Okay, it may be in any one of platform with some data sets. It may be Python, Java, whatever it is. Okay, when it comes to a testing, we are using some platforms like this GitHub platforms. Okay, GitHub platforms. There we can betterly test the code with different kinds of testing, as well as different peoples can able to test the code in based upon their different thoughts. Okay, so we can push the code in GitHub. Okay, this GitHub platform is mainly used for testing the code in each end of the phase of the code. Okay, then while come to the deployment, we can use the Docker tool. Okay, so for testing and building, we can combinedly say GitHub as a tool. Then various other tools also nowadays available, like Jenkins, Bitbucket. Lot of tools are available. Okay, for building as well as testing, and for deployment purpose, you can use the Dockers. Okay, so this is the basics. So when you are saying about MLOps, you keep these three things in your mind: build, test, and deploy. These are the three major steps. So whatever innovations you are learning, everything is based upon these three steps only. Okay, so the first concept is continuous integration and delivery. Okay, so in this continuous integration and delivery, we can see the definition. So this CI/CD pipeline can streamline and automate the process of building, testing, and deploying code changes in different environment. Okay, it will streamline and automate the process. That is the major thing of the CI/CD pipeline: continuous integration and continuous delivery. Whatever changes or whatever errors happens, everything can be easily cleared and can be monitored using this platform. Okay, that's why we are using the CI/CD pipeline. Okay, streamlining the process. Okay, no need to worry about if error comes in the model, what can we do? No need of any worries. Okay. If there is an error, it can automatically check and rectify this error through the CI/CD pipeline. Okay. So it was the major step in MLOps. Okay. So it is streamline and automate the process of building, testing, and deploying the code changes in different environment. Okay. Like in Git environment, we are creating branches. Okay. What is the necessity of creating branches? A main branch would be there. If there is any error, or if you are creating some new changes, you are creating a branch, and again in that sub branches you are making a modifications in the code. Okay, that is called as continuous integration. For example, consider an Android application. Okay, so Android application as well as various kinds of applications we are using in our smartphones. Okay, let us consider WhatsApp. Okay, if they are integrating some new features into the WhatsApp, whether they are asking us to delete the WhatsApp and reinstall the new WhatsApp app again. No. Okay, whatever features they are updating, it's when we are updating our mobile, that feature can easily added to the previously defined app. Okay, so this is called as continuous integration. Okay, no need to worry about the old one. If there is an error came, or if we want to update the code, update the application, no worries on that case. New updations can be done in the new branches. Okay, so once the new branches or new code get updated, it automatically make the changes in the original model. Okay, this is the main theme of MLOps. Okay, continuous integration. You can integrate any number of code with the old model. Okay, and after that, we are continuously monitoring and testing the code in delivery as well as deployment. Okay, so in continuous integration and delivery, automation. So the automation is the primary reason why we are going for CI/CD pipeline. Okay, I already explained to you the code bug clearance, new code installation, then trigger changes. Everything is done in an automatic manner. Okay, the workflow is there. Okay, so the goal of enabling continuous delivery to the ML service. Why we are moving to this CI/CD pipeline? What is the goal of the CI/CD pipeline? Means maintain code and source code versions of the model, then enable triggers to perform necessary job in parallel, build artifacts, then release deployment for production. Okay, so maintain data and source code version means so we know in each and every applications, operating systems, everywhere we can see the versions. Okay, the WhatsApp version 1, version 2, then in browser we can see their different versions. Okay, so what does this version means? The old code would be there. So in different new branches, we are updating the new code, as well as we are adding the new artifacts. That is called as new version of the code. Okay, so to go for the new versions as well as new model, we can use this continuous integration and continuous delivery. Okay, and it is mainly supports to finding fault and errors. Okay, so the CI/CD tools available to find the facts, as well as we can push the code in that in these tools. They can find the fault and update us. Okay, so when we pushed our code in this MLOps CI/CD pipeline, it automatically monitors the code, and if the error comes, it automatically triggers the owner, or triggers the coder if there is an error happens. Okay, so you can say the example for GitHub integration CI/CD is, we can say GitHub, then Bitbucket, after that Jenkins. Okay, so these are the major tools supports for CI/CD pipelines. Okay, so the continuous development and integration is very much needed before the production. Okay, we are developing a code, then integrating the code, and as well as we are checking whether any errors are there or not. We are streamlining and automating the process. After that only we are moving for production. Okay, Then, using this CA/CD pipeline, we can enable continual learning, which is critical to machine learning system success. Okay, continuous learning is very much important in this continuous integration. So, if there is no continual learning, the ML machine, the model will be failed. Okay, so the ML system is deemed to end up as a failed proof of concept if there is no continuous learning. Okay, so only a model deployed with the continual learning capabilities can bring business value. Okay, if you are developing or coding a new version of app or new app, okay, if there is no updation, there is no versions, means nobody would try to use that application. Okay, so we must need a version based upon the current trends as well as current changes. Okay, so the model should be updatable. So the continual learning is mandatory. Okay, if there is a continual learning in the model, then only that model can gain the business value. Okay, this is the major thing in continuous integration. Then why we need the CACD pipelines? Okay, it enable organizations to develop software quickly and efficiently. Okay, so if we are not using the CACD pipeline, means once we develop a software, we have to give it to the tester. Okay, to check whether any errors are there, whether our model is supporting to the input data sets which we are giving, or our model will supports to the present real-time environment. Everything we have to check individually. It takes a very big time and months. Okay, but if we used the CI/CD pipeline, we can test the software quickly and efficiently, and we can develop the software quickly and deploy it. Okay, that was the major advantage of the CI/CD pipeline, because I can push the code in Git or any other applications or any other software. In another one side, a tester can easily test and update the code, etc., etc. Okay, everything can be done in a quicker manner. So the CACD enables an effective process of getting products and software to market faster than ever before. Okay, continuously moving code into production and ensuring the steady flow of new features. Okay, so within a very fast time period, we can give the code for production, as well as new features can be added to the base model in a very quick manner. Okay, there is no that much of toughness to add new features. So this is one basic structure of the CACD pipeline. So here the developer is there to develop a code. This is in your laptop. Okay, this is done on our personal side. So after developing a code, once you pushed the code to the CA pipeline, continuous integration, here you can use the Git platform. Git or which platform? Bitbucket, Jenkins. Okay, anything can be used here in the CA pipeline, continuous integration pipeline. Okay, so once you developed a code in your own system, you are pushing the code to either Git or Jenkins. That is called as build code quality test and package. We are packaging our entire code in a CI pipeline, continuous integration. Okay, after that, continuous delivery or deployment. The D can be called as two steps: delivery and then deployment. Okay, after delivering a model, we are continuously monitoring and updating the model. That is called as deployment. Okay, so in the CD pipeline, review, test, staging, and production is carried out in this CD pipeline. Okay, so you already practiced both GitHub and Dockers. Okay, so in the CI/CD pipeline, we are combining both Git and the Dockers. Okay, for delivery and deployment, we can use Dockers. Okay. So this is another one architecture for continuous integration, delivery, and deployment. So in the continuous integration, only building and testing a code could be done. In delivery, acceptance test, deploy to staging, smoke test, and the both are similar in continuous delivery as well as deployment. Till this, both are similar. Okay. Only change in delivery as well as deployment is in delivery, a human test is necessary. Okay, a person is testing the code before deploying it to production. Okay, that was the difference between delivery and deployment. Okay, human test is necessary after the smoke test. Okay, human is testing whether the code is working properly or not. His suggestion is accepted in the delivery panel. Okay, so in the deployment, this deploy to production also done by the system. Okay, this is the major difference between delivery and deployment. So in continuous integration, only building a code and testing is done. After that, we can move it to Git or this platforms, Docker platform. So in delivery, support is necessary for deploying to production test. Okay. Then continuous integration. So continuous in the continuous integration, we have three major metrics: real-time synchronization, automated build and test, faster delivery. Okay. So real-time synchronization means CA synchronizes code changes with the application, integrating update instantly. That as I said earlier, whatever changes in the code, we are creating new branches and updating the changes in the branches. Okay, that is called as integrating and updating instantly. Okay, then automatically build and test the application after each commit. Once you are committing a changes, you have the experience of using GitHub, right? So in that, whenever you are committing a changes, that commit gets updated in the code, right? So you can make a commit as well as change to another person also. The another one coder or tester can also make a change in the same code by making a commit change. Okay. So this automated build and test can be happen in the continuous integration. Then it will supports for faster delivery. Okay. Then this is the CA workflow. Developer is developing a code. In the CA tool, the builded application is tested with the source code as well as data sets. If there is a problem detected, it will again move to the developer side. Or if there is any no errors are there, it can move to the next step called a maintainer or developer. He is merging a changes. Now the application is ready for the deployment. Okay, so the CI part is over. Continuous integration is over. We developed the code without any errors. Okay, that is continuous integration. Now, the second step is continuous delivery. Okay, in the continuous delivery, it is also having three features: automated build and release, then human approval, controlled release. Okay, so CD automates the testing and release process. Okay, so here the testing can be done automatically. Okay, when there is a change in main branches, it triggers the CI/CD deployment, CI/CD pipeline. Okay, if there is an error or if there is any changes needed based upon the new data set or a new environment, the branch will create a triggers. Okay, so the trigger means unexpected changes, which is created by the particular platform. Okay, so based upon the triggers, the continuous changes would be happen. So this continuous delivery supports for automated build and release. Then, as I said earlier, human approval is necessary. Human agent review is needed after the smoke test. Then in controlled and release, CD allows business to release updated small batches before the release. Each batch by batch, code by code, we are testing and releasing the code. That is called as continuous delivery. The final step is continuous deployment. So this is nothing but it ensures fully automation to deploy the entire service. Okay, deploy entire robust code to the end user. That is called as continuous deployment. We delivered the code and after that we are checking and testing whether the code is working properly for the real-time environment. Okay, so each week by week or monthly, we are getting the artifacts. Artifacts means the input used to train the machine learning model. Okay, sometimes in real time, the input data set may be varied based on the real time. Okay, so based on that, the model should be updated. Okay, so here this artifact is important. Okay, artifact. Artifact means input or output generated by the model. Okay. So input used to train the model as well as output generated by the training process. So this continuous delivery and deployment used to test in the production like environment. Then it used to automatically release the code, and after that we can check the code whether it is working properly or not. Okay, so this is called as continuous development and deployment. Okay, continuous integration, development, and deployment. These are the three things which is necessary after developing a machine learning code. Okay, the CI/CD pipeline is very much needed. So for the CI/CD pipeline, we can say the examples softwares as GitHub, Bitbucket, Jenkins, as well as Docker. Okay. So the next is pipeline execution and testing. So here the three steps carried out: release creation, pipeline execution, monitoring and validation. So same thing only. So in release creation, to test the pipeline, click on the create release button. So these steps are given based upon the Microsoft Azure. Okay, so which platform you are using, based upon that the release creation would be varied. So whenever a new artifacts created, new version came, you can release the version by using this release creation. Okay. Then pipeline execution. After creating a new release, the CI/CD pipeline is automatically triggered. Okay, so it is again checking the artifacts, deploying the web service, etc., etc. Then monitoring and validation. The success of pipeline execution is tested in the Azure ML platform based upon the APIs. Okay, so in the validation side, the deployment side, we are deploying the code in the cloud-based environment. Okay, so there we are using set of APIs that you will learn in the next chapter. Okay, then some triggers you have to know. So trigger means the new things, unexpected changes created in the routine. Okay, a model is working continuously. When there is any new changes happens, that is called as triggers. Okay, that triggers can be varied as five types. First one is artifactory triggers. So artifacts means I already said to you, input as well as output. Okay, so in artifactory, a trigger means executes pipeline process, then new artifacts such as models or Docker images are generated. If there is a change in the input data set, or if there's a change in the Docker image, that is called as artifactory triggers. Okay, it will triggers the CI/CD pipeline if there is a change in Docker image. Okay, then Docker Hub triggers. It automatically deploy a Docker image and the web service when a new image is uploaded to Docker image or a container registry. Okay, so Docker Hub trigger is a web-based service. Okay, if there is a new image in Docker Hub, it will trigger the user. Then schedule trigger, it automates the tasks such as ML model retraining or system cleanup at specified intervals. So the schedule trigger is used mainly for per week or per month. Okay, so it will mainly used to retrain the ML model. Okay, and clean up the older data sets, as well as it can update the new model of data. For that purpose, the scheduled triggers are used, like every day morning we are setting the alarm, okay, to wake up us. And the same thing, the machine learning model is triggered using the scheduled triggers. Okay, updated model gets updated. Then API triggers means in this initiates pipeline process based on external events from integrated service. For example, retraining an ML based on specific commands or events. Okay, if we want to make any necessary change based on the command, this API trigger will work. Then Git triggers, this automatically triggers pipeline execution when a new code commit or pull request is made, enhancing development flow. So the Git triggers is only used in the GitHub when we are pushing a new request or committing a new changes. This triggers will get executed, and the CAC in the pipeline will be executed or changed based upon this new Git triggers. Okay, thank you.